Babies, it's Nurse Reese, and you are watching another edition of Nurse Reese in the City. Hey babies, okay, I'm back. So for this edition, or for this episode, I want to talk about FlexPath and how to finish the FlexPath program from Capella in one term. I had a request. This is a request video. So basically how to finish it in one term, or how to finish it rather quickly. And you can define quickly as whatever you see fit. Okay. So for me with Capella, I was able to finish both the BSN and the MSN in one term. Not one complete term, but I completed the BSN program in one term, and I completed the MSN program in one term. So for the BSN, it took me about 5 weeks. Could have been quicker, but if you've watched any of the other videos, then you'll know there were some things that happened with classes that I didn't really know about going in. So that's why I did that video of what things that people don't tell you about Capella University prior to getting started. And the MSN, it was just more classes for me. I didn't do the accelerated master's program. I did just a regular program because I needed transcripts from other schools and I didn't want to be bothered with that. So I was like, you know what, let me just get in and get out. So I just did the regular program, which is about 13 classes. So the accelerated program, I believe you would only have to take 10 classes as opposed to the 13, because what you do is in the BSN program, they swap 2 of the BSN classes for 2 of the MSN classes, and then they give you another one. So once you get into the MSN, you only have to take the 10. But I didn't do that approach, so I had to take 13 classes, and I did that in about 2 months. Yeah, did that in about 2 months or so. How did I do it? What advice can I give those who are starting out in either the MSN or the BSN program, and how to finish quickly? Well, I wrote a little list, so I want to kind of stick to it. One of the most important things is understanding the grading policy. So at Capella, the instructors have 48 business hours to grade your exam. To grade your assignments. So if you hand in an assignment on Monday, they have until Wednesday to hand it back to you. If you hand it on Tuesday, they have until Thursday. Wednesday, they have until Friday. Thursday, they have until Monday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they have until Tuesday. Okay? So you need to understand that just so you can plan. You can plan on how, quickly you'll be able to get through a class. Additionally, if you're taking classes during like a holiday, like it's Christmas time now, there was Thanksgiving, there's coming up a New Year. So if you're taking courses during this time or any holiday time, then you need to understand the holiday schedule. So I'm not going to go through that because that's just something that you want to know when going into the program, so you know how to schedule your work when you want to be done, so that you can hand something in so that you can get it back. Okay. So you want to know that, especially if you're in like a master's program or something like that, where, what can I say? Where like you have these 2 holidays, right? You have Christmas, and then you have the New Year's. So it gets really hectic with the schedule because you kind of lose like a lot of days if you don't know the grading schedule. So you want to make sure that you have your work in by a certain time. So let's just say you have to make corrections, that those corrections don't fall into the other holiday grading schedule. So it really won't make sense now, but when you get into the program, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see. That's what she was talking about. So those are some things you just want to be mindful of going into the program, just off the bat going in. So one of the most important things that I did during the program was that I made a schedule. I made a schedule of when I wanted to complete an assignment. So going into each program, I already knew how many assignments each course had. So that allowed me to make a schedule. And my goal was to complete an assignment daily. So in order for me to complete an assignment daily, I had to make sacrifices. I work full time at Monday through Friday, and I have 2 school-age children. So I have those responsibilities and other household responsibilities and other responsibilities that require my time, energy, and effort. So there was a lot of sacrifices, and I would do my work, especially during the MSN program. I would do my coursework in the night. So I had like an 8 to 2 a.m. schedule, and I had like a 10 p.m. to like 4 a.m. or whenever, I decided to finish. And generally I would finish my work at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I probably, on most days, I didn't go to sleep till like 4 and after in the morning. And then I have to turn around and get up at like 8 to get my kids, to make sure they're up and ready for school. Yeah, they go to school at home, but they still have to get ready, and I have to tend to them as well. So, those were certain sacrifices. Coronavirus really did help to make a lot of this possible, because I didn't have to go outside of the home as much, being that I work full time most of the time from home. But, you guys know your schedules, you know how your life is. So you just have to, accommodate your school towards your life. You have to fit it in somehow, and you're going to have to make sacrifices somehow. There are people who don't have to work. They don't, all they're doing is going to school right now. So one of the things that I always like to, put out there is, please do not compare yourself to other people. You don't know what other people have going on in their lives. You don't know their time freedom, their time flexibility. So if someone is finishing this program in a month or whatever, someone is finishing it in a year, someone is finishing in 2 or 3 terms, don't compare that to you, because only you know what you're able to do. Some people finish 1 class per term. So, everybody's life is different. Some people are at different stages in their life. Some people are not very computer savvy. Some people haven't been to school in over 20 years. So everybody has their own thing going on, their own capabilities. So one thing I like to say is, please do not compare yourself to anyone else. Know your own abilities and capabilities. And, your motivation. For me, money was the motivation. Okay, money is always going to be the motivation for me, because I was not trying to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a degree. I'm paying out of pocket. So money was the motivation for me to finish in 1 term. And being that I am an alumni, the MSN with 50% off, completing it in 1 term cost me less than $1,500. So if that's not motivation enough, that was all the motivation I needed. I was like, well, okay, yeah, all right. That's all the motivation I needed. So you need to know your why while you're doing it, what's going to motivate you, But yeah, for me, that was definitely the motivation. So stick to your schedule, but leave some room for flexibility, right? During my, MSN program, I had, situations where I had to switch preceptors, and, you have little things that go on in your life that may set you back a little bit. So you do need a little bit of wiggle room to be able to make adjustments, anything. You may get sick. I don't wish that on anyone, but anything can happen, especially during these COVID times. So even you want to make a tight schedule, but you want to give it a little bit of room for flexibility. When I initially started, I made a 12-week schedule. I believe the program is 12 weeks. I made a 12-week schedule, and I initially started I initially intend to complete an assignment every other day, right? And some assignments I even gave myself like 2 days. But then when I started looking at it, I'm like, I can do this faster. So I motivated myself to do it faster. And then like the first couple of weeks, like the first few weeks, I'm like, look, you need to do an assignment every day, at least for the first 3 weeks. And then you can loosen up the schedule if you want to. Ideally in my mind, I intended, worst case scenario, to finish a few weeks, out. Like I finished a lot sooner than I had planned to. There was some times where I just dedicated full weekends to just busting out 3-4 assignments, busting out a whole class in a weekend. So it really depends on what you're doing and what your home structure is like. My kids, they are, they're relatively young, but they're great kids too. So that support system, and then had strong family support as well. That support system, it does help as well. So, you want to have a strong foundation, and if you do have small children, you kind of just want to let them know that, this is something that you're doing. And hopefully they understand that, you may have to cut out on certain things. Luckily for me, it was COVID. So, going out and doing a lot of activities, we weren't really doing that due to COVID. So if we're not going out bowling this weekend, they get it because it's COVID, so we'll do other things. So that was that. Not to ramble on for too long, but I just really want to set the tone that you control your time, and don't get too fixated on how soon other people are finishing. Also, some things that have helped were, there are some example or sample assignments within certain courses. Some courses have absolutely no samples. So you have some choices out there. There's something that the school offers. It's called portfolio. So in the BSN, they push that pretty heavy to start like a portfolio or e-portfolio or whatever it is. And when you go to the e-portfolio, there's an area where you can search your school and you can search an assignment, period. You can look up an assignment. Like many people post their work. So you can use that as a sample and as an example and as a guide to kind of help you get a better idea of what they're asking, because sometimes many people find that the instructions on the assignments are very vague. So a little bit of help, a little bit of guidance will go a long way. So the e-portfolio is one place where you can look towards, and a lot of other people, they use Course Hero. To me, you can pay for it or you don't have to pay for it. It's very similar to the e-portfolio. I would lean more towards the e-portfolio because, this is official work that, students have, uploaded, and the majority of the time is what they use throughout specific courses. So some people talk down about Course Hero, like, oh, don't use that, whatever. But the reality is it's very similar to e-portfolio, and you're not doing anything, wrong by, if looking at someone's assignment in the e-portfolio as opposed to looking at an assignment on Course Hero. As long as you're not plagiarizing, it's just a little help, just like the samples that they provide, right? So that is a couple of tools that will help you if you need a little extra help or, a little extra guidance, maneuvering through the tutorials, also through the assignments. Also, they do have tutors. Some tutors are better than others. And like with the tutors, you don't necessarily have to use the tutor, but some of the tutors, they do offer extra guidance in a tab that says Ask Tutor or Ask Your Tutor. I had one, she was amazing. She was actually from Ireland. She was actually from Ireland, and she made these cute little video instructions that would help you really understand some of the assignments. And I was so fortunate because the assignments that she did that for were kind of hard. And a lot of people I seen in the program struggled with it a little bit. And some of the instructors that they had, along with the tutor, didn't provide that extra, guidance. So you can also ask the tutor, and you can see what information is available within the Ask the Tutor tab. They have the announcement tab. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere else. And many teachers, they will send out videos, announcements with instructions of what they expect and things that they look for within an assignment. So it's kind of like a guideline. And lastly, the instructors, being mindful of the instructors that you select within your first class in the FlexPath program. They're going to automatically assign you an instructor. After that first class, like after you're put into the first class, now you get early access on a Friday. Being that you've been entered in the program, you've been admitted into the program within the appropriate amount of time, you'll get early access on the Friday before the Monday that the class starts. So once you get that early access, you can start your class early. You start over the weekend. When that Monday comes and you're officially enrolled, you can select your second class. You can open up your second class and you can select your instructor, right? When selecting instructors, you want to be mindful. Sorry, my hair is a little tangled. When selecting instructors, you want to be mindful to do some research on them. Make sure that you are picking a instructor that is conducive to what you're trying to do. If you are looking for, an instructor that's going to grade your stuff early, then you'll see that information in certain groups. That's another thing. Make sure you join the Facebook groups. If you're not on Facebook, you might want to join just so that you can join the group, so that you can ask specific questions. There are many people in the groups that will help guide and give advice and help answer some of your questions. I'm in the groups, Reese, right? And I do help as much as I can, especially being that I'm up all hours of the night. So if I see something, I usually try to help out and answer if I can. So the groups are a really great support system as well. And you can go in the groups and you can search an instructor and you can see, this instructor, they grade down to the minute or they go past the time. That's not really someone that you may want if, you're crunched for time. Also, it's a good thing to have 2 classes open at a time, because say for instance, you have an instructor that grades, they take the full 40 hours and you're done with your work. You're just waiting for an instructor to grade and they're going to take 48 hours. If you have a second class open, you can already start the work. And especially if it's like a weekend, you submitted your work on Friday and you're not going to get it back to like Tuesday. Well, depending on you and your drive, you can finish a whole nother course over the weekend, right? All right. So other than that, I really don't have any tricks or other tips to help expedite the process. You have to do the work. The work takes time, but as long as you make the time and you focus, you're gonna get through it. But the most important thing to do is to take it one assignment at a time. Like, don't get overwhelmed by the load. Just take it one assignment at a time, one class at a time. Even if you have 2 classes open, one assignment at a time, one class at a time. And just keep pushing and push through, and you will be successful. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave them down below. As soon as I see questions, I try to answer them as quickly as I can. Sorry, I was getting a little razzled towards the end that I was doing this video. I had like a coughing attack, so I'm just a little out of it, but thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you have any questions or anything, be sure to leave them down below. You guys can follow me on YouTube, this is YouTube, but YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me on Clubhouse. I'm about to actually start on Clubhouse. On Clubhouse, I am Reese Wright, so I'll leave that below. And if there's anything you guys want to talk about, or any other videos that you'd like me to do, let me know. I'm going to eventually do some educational videos. So if there's anything you guys need some help on, regardless of what level you're at in your studies, if there's any little extra nursing help or NCLEX tips or anything that you guys like to know, or any videos you'd like me to do, any suggestions, please leave them down below and I will try to get to them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy New Year! If I don't speak to you guys since then, I hope that your 2021 is much better and more successful than 2020 has been. So Godspeed to you.